Hello, my beautiful air signs. What? Okay, so the nature of the spread is answer the call, which is what I did for earth, air, fire, and water. All of us, right? So what it does is it gets down into the rawness of where it is that we're supposed to be. It goes deeper into the questions that I'm asking, where the collectives are, because we all have been delivered a tower, right, to break us through this energy before we go into the portal. And so for you, the first thing that I want to start with, obviously, within this spread is the calling, right? It's the nature of the call. What is Spirit telling you to get down to the heart of the matter for, right? What is the nature of the call? And your cards that came out were Internal Explorer, right? Going deep within heart chakra energy, right? So you can explore and blossom and bloom in your emotions, because then we have overflow, right? The overflow of emotions. This is very much about the Ace of Cups energy, being in your emotions but not drowning, right? That's why it's time for you to be the internal explorer of your heart chakra energy, right? Of the emotions that Spirit's asking you to get into, the nature of the call, right? Because here's a big heart chakra energy in her the center of her alignment, right? So that is the nature of the call for the air signs, right? So Spirit's really saying it's time for you to blossom and bloom in this energy and get down to the rawness of what the emotions are, right? So we can be in heart chakra, because again, we have to be in heart chakra in order to manifest for the full moon cycle, which is August 22nd or 24th, one of the two. Now, for the spiritual aspect of it, what is the spiritual response, right? How are you being asked to respond in your emotions spiritually, right? And the first one is the wisdom of the Divine Feminine. Again, Divine Feminine, that's our heart chakra, right? Overfloweth of emotion, internal explorer. This is all about your emotions, air signs, right? Really taking that time to do the deep dive and really go through and hold your center, right? Allow yourself to be in meditation, ground this energy, bringing in the answers that are coming in through the divine, right? Asking for help if you need it. So that is how Spirit is telling you that you need to respond spiritually to the energy that they are sending you, right? Is about being in heart chakra. This whole thing, I mean, we've been delivered tower and earth, air, fire, and water. We have all been fucked up trying to get into this alignment to be able to go through this 8-8 portal. The 8-8 portal is all about change, new beginnings, prosperity, abundance, emotional fulfillment, right? Bringing in this energy, closing out toxic cycles, stepping into the new energies. And for the third question that I asked is our intellectual response, right? How are we learning, thinking, communicating within our spiritual beliefs and our practices? Because that's why I put the spiritual response, right? What is it that Spirit is asking for us to respond to in our spiritual alignment? Well, heart chakra energy. So for you, your intellectual response is about sitting back and seeing your shadow side and your divine feminine side, right? The lightness and the dark, you have the observer, right? Seeing life in a different energy, right? In an emotional energy, which is why they're saying sit back and observe, not absorb the energy, because that's what fucks us up, right? Gives us triggers and then we're a mess. So they're saying observe from both facets. Observe your shadow side and bring it into the light. Internal explorer, which makes sense why it's about observing the emotions, right? And why there is that heart chakra, right? Observe it, bring it into the light so you can see it, feel it, heal it, and then release it back to spirit, right? Not having judgment on yourself or of others, but just making sure that you are doing the deep dive in your emotions and observing them, right? Because then that's going to give you the answers that we need for all the shitty shit that's going on around us and our energy from all the collectives, right? It's a breakdown of total control of our emotions, right? Now for the emotional response, this is how we're being asked to respond emotionally, right, to our feelings and or the relationships that are going on around us. And I don't know about you, but I've been a bull in a china shop. I didn't respond very well at all. So your emotional response is about going through the threshold, right? Lighting up the darkness, standing in your truth, really bringing, see, you're in the deep dive of your emotions. There's all these bubbles that are coming up to the surface. It's like she did the deep dive and now she's coming up into the surface, right? Being the internal explorer, lighting it up, standing in truth, right? Really allowing, and this is really a deep, beautiful red kind of skirt that she's wearing under this water. So again, it's about that root chakra energy, which is, well, I didn't do very, very good in it because I seen red and I thought they were holding the red flag. What's a bull gonna do? Well, it's gonna charge after that shit. Don't fuck with me, Karen. I've been working real hard now to stand in my Queen of Pentacles. I ain't playing. I've been trying to nurture my energy. So, our physical response, air signs, for you is what to do or what action are we being asked to take in order to get where we need to be in our emotions of spiritual journey. Bring, bring, answering the call, right? Well, it's about, there's holding your center, grounding your energy, and this is all about your prosperity and abundance, right? Seeing into the void, right? Allowing, again, yourself to be grounded, right? Bringing in all that good luck, that energy. Why? Because we got the 8-8 portal that's coming through Sunday, right? So this is all about doing the deep dive, right? Going in through the threshold, now coming up to the surface, right? Allowing yourself to be the observer of your emotions and asking yourself why you're triggered, why you're not putting the time into doing the deep dive, right? Because it is about being the internal explorer to be able to blossom, ground, and bloom, right? So here's where we're going to start doing our clarification in our energy. Oh yeah, and I want to do, we'll do C melody. All right, now we can begin. So let's find out more about what it is Spirit is asking you. Well, hail. What Spirit is asking you to do, being in this overflow of emotions and being in the internal explorer energy. So we had the 7 of Wands come out, right? It's about not being so defensive in your energy. It's about just getting into the rawness of your emotions and taking the deep dive, right? With the 10 of Wands energy, 10 of Wands is in reverse. It's about dropping all these heavy burdens, right? You got to be able to do the deep dive somewhere, right? And so let's get some clarification with this 7 of Wands, because the 7 of Wands being defensive is why you're carrying these burdens and why it's getting so heavy and why Spirit is saying, no, quit being so defensive and do the deep dive. Explore these emotions so we can bring it to surface, feel it, heal it, release it. So let's find out about the 7 of Wands. Quick, Spirit, what do we need to know about this defensive energy in the 7 of Wands? It's about the 2 of Wands. There's lots of fiery action in this energy. You're pulling lots of fire signs energy. And that's about our creative fires, passions, and desires, right? The things that light our soul up on fire. We can't be defensive about where we want to take this internal explorer energy, right? It is about exploring what it is, right? With the Two of Wands energy, this is about not only doing it for yourself, but for the world, right? Because whatever we give back to ourselves is what is being given to the karmic energies, dropping these burdens, right? Waiting for our ships to come in. See, this is leaving the past in the past, right? And only taking the one that you need and moving forward on journey, not looking back here, but making that forward movement, which is going to lead you to your truth, right? Because the world is in blue here, lead you to your truth and drop these burdens in the Ten of Wands. So within your spiritual response, holding your center and stepping into divine feminine energy. Yeah, see, you've been keeping yourself stuck, and then you have the star energy, right? Spirit's like, you haven't been doing the work. Sorry about the glare. Nope, it don't matter which way I turn it. There is a glare. All right, so anyway, it's about you've been keeping yourself stagnant and stuck, right? Feeling stuck in this energy. And that's why Spirit is saying, look, you're holding your center, you're not moving, which is fine, but you need to step into that divine feminine energy, because that's where you're going to open into the portal, right? Have hope, have faith, take the leap, take the jump, right? In the truth of your emotions, right? Because that's what she's doing, pouring her emotions out, right? Which is why Spirit told you with your intellectual response, it's about being an observer to your own emotions, asking yourself why you're triggered by the energies that are around you. So let's find out a little bit more about this Eight of Swords energy, why you've been stagnant and stuck in this energy. Well, because Spirit's been trying to get you to take a time out so you can step into the truth of your knowledge here, right? Pulling your energy back and starting to ground and open in this portal energy, right? Because it was all about taking time out to do the internal exploring of your emotions, right? And so therefore that's why you've been stagnant and stuck. But if you look in this one about holding your center, right? Here you are in that meditative energy, right? All this beautiful plush energies are all around you. Trees are growing, beautiful flowers, right? Messages, the dove, giving yourself peace, right? Allowing yourself to go through this portal, right? Because when this portal is open, star card, right? When this portal is open, the veil is at its thinnest for our ancestors to be able to come in and give us the information that we are looking for so they can guide us out of this stagnant energy. But again, we were supposed to be doing that heart chakra energy. We were supposed to be taking a rest, giving ourselves a little bit of time, peace, patience, compassion to do the internal exploring, which is why Spirit is saying, you need to hold your center and be the observer of these emotions, so you can have faith and step into divine feminine energy, your heart chakra, right? So you can start pouring out your emotions, which is why you have the overflow. So let's find out about the observer. What is it that the air signs are meant to be observing in their energy? So Spirit is telling you what you need to be observing in your energy is the fact that you got to get out of the wounded human ego, right? You don't have to fight this battle by yourself. It's about stepping in and observing your emotions and not fighting your energy, right? Because that's where the abundance is. That's why you're observing in heart chakra energy. All these coins here are green. And again, now masculine, feminine energies are now in balance. That's part of the abundance of stepping through this portal and getting out of wounded human ego. And then going through your death and your rebirth, right? Stepping into spiritual journey, because that's why we're answering the call, right? And we all have to be in the same vibration. We all have to be in heart chakra energy in order to manifest. With the Six of Cups, right? See, divine feminine energy, which is why in your intellectual response, it was all about observing this energy, right? And in your spiritual response, it was the wisdom of the divine feminine. And so the divine feminine energy is coming in and making an offering to masculine energy. Hey, we got to go through death and rebirth and get out of wounded human ego, right? Let's bring heart chakra energies into this. I'm willing to be the internal explorer of my emotions to move this energy forward, right? Because we got to be on the same page. It's about really, again, just being in that emotional fulfillment kind of energy. Like, man, that was, I did the work, right? So now I'm going to get my 10 of Pentacles. My heart and my ego are working together, and I'm giving myself divine balance, divine justice, right? Because part of the emotional response for you, again, was going through the threshold, right? And again, that's why there was that alignment of root chakra, and then her sash is green, right? So again, it's about putting yourself in alignment of truth and heart, right? So let's find out what Spirit is asking you to do when you're going through this threshold energy. So in order to go through the threshold, right, to make the forward movement, to walk through, it's about the Knight of Pentacles. It's been a slow, steady process, right? But you are moving this energy forward. It is solid, right? You're holding the coin right here. That's why you're coming up to the surface, because you did the internal exploring work. You started to be the observer of your emotions and started putting your energy first. So now you're coming up to the surface, right, with the Knight of Pentacles. It's about doing the deep dive and staying there as long as needed, and then coming back up, because now you have an overflow of emotions, right? Closing out in the 10 of Swords, all this shit energy that's not doing you any good, all this conflict, this confusion, right? All this turmoil, right, in your head, your intellectual thoughts, right? With the Queen of Swords, right? See, the Queen of Swords, it's about standing in your truth. This is your own divine feminine energy. It's about the truth of heart, right? And her sword is up in this card, which means that sword will cut any toxic energy, any bullshit, right? So part of coming up and then in that threshold energy is here you come in your Knight of Pentacles, right? Slow, steady movement, but it's solid, because now you've cut out all the toxic behaviors and energies, and now you're standing in your divine feminine, right? That wisdom of the divine feminine, which is exactly what the Queen of Swords is. It's all about the wisdom, the knowledge, the power. Cutting out any bullshit behavior, toxicity. Sword is up, right? I'm not going to put up with it. I've already done the deep dive. Now I've came up for air, and I'm not going to allow this energy to enter back into my energy, because I am trying to make it to my 10 of Pentacles, right? So being in your own energy of heart chakra for divine feminine energy. Which is why with that 10 of Pentacles, with being the observer, it's about getting out of wounded human ego, because again, your physical response, your 3D response was what to do, what actions to take, right? Which is why you have the Queen of Swords, right? Queen of Swords, when I have them laid down, is looking right here. Queen of Swords is now enjoying her time, right? Coming in, looking at the prosperity and abundance, right? Which is why you had observing your energies with wounded human ego, right? Getting out of ego and bringing it into the light, so you could be the internal explorer of your emotions and cut out the bullshit. You have to be sick of your own shit for real. Which is why divine feminine is offering divine masculine a hand up, right? Get out of ego, here we go, right? We're stepping into our prosperity and our abundance, right? And here she is outside, living life, got a drink in her hand, allowing herself to be the divine, beautiful queen that she is, right? In that heart chakra energy. it's very much about seeing in truth and balance and justice, right? That is exactly what the air signs are, is our truth, right? Our balance, our knowledge, our wisdom, our justice, right? Bringing that energy down for all the collectives, right? So let's find out about your physical response here. Prosperity and abundance is on the line. And Spirit is saying to you, in order to get this prosperity and abundance, here she's sitting here, got the cup in her hand. Well, Spirit's like, you need to focus on that heart chakra energy about the truth of what your heart is asking, because you're not even paying attention to what the divine is offering you in your heart chakra energy. And so they're like, hell no, you got to take spiritual journey. You got to light that up. You got to start making time, which is why you have that observer energy, right? Lighting up the darkness around you, making way so you can go forward in this journey. So I want to find out, I do want to find out though, this Four of Cups energy, what is it that you're not focused on in the truth? It could be that you're not focused on what Spirit is bringing into you on spiritual journey, because you're still in the dark here, right? And focused on what could have been, which is a past energy, which makes sense why we would have that two of wands in heart chakra for the internal explorer, right? And your water, your overflow of emotions. Why there's that past energy, that past wand back here that she's got her back to in this energy, right? Because here she is moving forward. But again, if we're looking at it correctly, that's what the Queen of Swords comes in and does. Cuts out all the bullshit, all the past energies that no longer belong there, because it's not about looking back. Because that's what it reminds me of here. Pouting, right? It's kind of like, what cup? I don't see a cup. Yeah, you do, because you just ain't taking the deep dive. It's about doing the deep dive. It's about doing the work. Got to put in the work. So let's find out about that Four of Cups. See if we can get some more information about the Four of Cups, Spirit. What is the Four of Cups trying to tell us? So within this Four of Cups, right, you have the Page of Wands in reverse, right? You're not focused on your fires, your passions, your desires, meditation, spiritual journey, getting down and doing the deep dive work, right? With the Queen of Wands, it's all about the entrepreneurial energy. And, you know, we've had this a couple times. I think it was in today's podcast as well. It's like whatever it is that you're sitting on in that entrepreneurial energy, right? Whatever lights your soul on fire, that passion, that desire. It's about putting that in the forefront of what it is that you're going after. That should be your focus, is your fires, passions, and desires. And that hasn't been your focus because your Page of Cups, or Page of Wands, is in reverse. You haven't been moving in your divine feminine energy, which is why it makes sense with the star energy. You have the wisdom of the divine feminine energy to be able to make it through this threshold, because you have to be able to observe all facets of your energy, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. But it's got to be because you're doing it with fire, with passion, right? With desire to move forward and cut out any bullshit, and not making yourself so busy that you're not having time to be able to focus on prosperity and abundance, because Spirit's trying to bring it into you, and all you have to do is set yourself up in the alignment of your emotions, right? Because we all have to be in heart chakra energy to be able to manifest. Overall, and yeah, see, perfect. This is exactly it. We have the Five of Cups, right? It's like here we're crying over spilled milk. Here's three cups that have been spilled here, right? And Spirit saying, hell no. Look, there's 2 cups full ones right behind you. All you have to do is pay attention to what we're bringing into you. Prosperity, abundance. So Spirit's got you in the pause, reflect, and release. Look, he's wearing a green cloak. And so Spirit's telling you, you got to do the deep dive in heart chakra energy. And boom, that's what puts you in to your vibrational match with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, right? Putting yourself in that balance of heart and ego working together, which makes sense why in your observing energy, right, your intellectual energy where you're the observer, seeing both sides of who you are, your heart and your ego, and bringing them together. It was about heart coming in saying, look, ego has to be on the back burner. We got to be, but I'm going to give you a hand, right? We need to be able to work together on this journey to be able to move forward. Because then you start moving with the Six of Swords into safer, calmer waters because you're in balance of root chakra energy, which is why I noticed that energy in the threshold, doing the deep dive. And once you get done with those emotions, you're able to clear all that shit and come up to the surface and see all the prosperity and abundance that has been waiting for you. I understand. So let's get some messages here from Spirit. And we are using our C melody because it's all about emotion. This whole fucking spread is about emotions for the air sign. So we're going to get some messages. Well, shit, half my deck. So listen up, boo-boos. Overall ending energy is safety. Don't be too proud to go back to shore, right? So again, protecting, there's that protection energy where they're like, go back to shore if you need to come in. But at least you closed out some energies, stood in the Queen of Swords, cut some shit out, and made the slow, steady process to be able to get back up to the surface when you did the deep dive, right? Entering the threshold of your emotions. So now Spirit says, Spirit got a lot to say, my beautifuls. Hold on. All right. So Spirit is telling you, flow. Let your worries drift away. Go with the flow, right? Go with the flow of your energies. Go with the flow of the wisdom of divine feminine energies. And do your internal work, right? With direction, trust your inner compass and find your bearings, right? You have to be able to make time to get back to Spirit. You have to. Listen. The secrets of the sea become apparent when we listen to the sound within the shell. Shell is our physical body, and our heart chakra is within. There's that internal explorer, the water, the emotional overflow of our energy. Spirit is telling you to raise your vibrations. Dance. Take inspiration from the moonlight dancing on the surface of the sea. Deal with those emotions because there's something beautiful at the end of the road here. Prosperity and abundance. Reflect. Peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back, right? Be in your reflections. There's being the observer of your energy. Good, bad, ugly, gotta love it. Rescue, help others in need or ask for assistance if you need it, right? Calling in your soul tribe. That's exactly what the air signs have been dealing with in the last couple of podcasts. Call in soul tribe. You're not meant to do this alone. We're all meant to do this together. Move. Barnacles only grow on docked ships. Make movement. Any forward movement gets us in alignment, gets us through the portal, right? Choose wisely. Be discerning. You don't have to keep everything in your net, right? If it doesn't fucking feel good, get rid of that shit. I don't want that. Nope, sorry, I'm giving that to you, but let's bring this in. Equally giving and receiving with the universe. And change. Know when to move to a new shell, especially if yours no longer fits. There's that make movement, because then you're not keeping yourself stagnant and stuck. in that Eight of Swords energy. So this week it looks like portal's going to open up on Sunday, my beautifuls, right? So it looks like it's about nurturing yourself, taking time out to put yourself in meditation, to really do the internal exploring, right? The work that needs to be done in order for you to get in alignment of the overflow of heart chakra energy to get the new beginnings, right? Because once you make it through and you start observing these emotions, why am I being triggered by that? Why am I feeling I need to be in judgment? Why am I judging others? That's not what we're here to do. We're here to love and be loved only. It's equally giving and receiving in energies, right? Because once you start coming up to the surface and you start standing in your divine feminine wisdom, Queen of Swords, and start cutting out any bullshit that doesn't serve you for your highest and best good, and learning to walk away from toxic energies, behaviors, people, places, things, right? And start closing out that energy. Ten of Swords, right? Prosperity and abundance. You also brought in the Ten of Pentacles and Heart Chakra when you start observing. It's all here. It's all here. So be good to yourself. Drink plenty of water, fruits and vegetables. Start nurturing yourself. Quit trying to avoid the emotions and keeping yourself so busy that you're not giving back to spirit, right? I'm the first one to say that we got to be able to do meditation and give back to spirit just as much as spirit gives to us, right? We have these gifts for a reason, and it's time to step into them and not keep them stagnant or stuck. Because then you're only prolonging the process and giving more towers where towers don't need to be given. If you're just in your emotions and putting yourself in the alignment to be able to move forward and not being stuck and stagnant. So much peace, so much love. I love you guys. I'll check in with us next week and see where we are.